Hello, I'm live for the hour. I'm going to be giving some readings for you today. It is Tuesday, June the 30th, almost the end of June. I was talking to someone yesterday, just reflecting that we have an entire half of the year to come, and she said, my gosh, it's feel it's going to be a very different next half to the year, and I kind of agree there actually. But for those of you going to be joining me here today, I try to do this every week or two, get on here and answer questions here. I do two main things in a live stream way. One is these live readings, and the other is sound healing. And I do both because it supports us in different ways. I didn't say necessarily different levels, but different ways. You know, a lot of what I would call healing happens because of how and in what ways we're open to it. So when I have people come in to me for a session and there is something going on in their life that they need to maybe speak about, talk through, and so on. Really, I have to give that conversation. Someone needs to be listened to. Even though sound healing goes very deep, I would say often above and beyond the nature of problem and concern and so on. It does. For someone to be open to that, I think they have to be. I think they have to feel receptive. I think they have to feel listened to, right? And that's tremendously important. And funnily enough, some of the most powerful sound healing sessions I've ever given, the most effective ones, happened because someone had the chance to speak, to release, to let go, be heard, and so on, right? So that's why I do it. That's why I do it. So check here. All right. So I always just give people a chance to get on here. I'm not seeing anyone on live yet. That's fine. That's fine. For anyone that is, or if I'm not seeing, if there's a time delay or something like that, all you need to do is put a question in the comments section here, and I'll read for it. I use the Robinwood deck here. I've been using this deck to read with professionally for, gosh, it's something like 15 years. And I love tarot decks. I really do. And I used to collect them before I moved so much. And now I just settled on this deck. Just something I just thought I would do while I'm waiting for people to join here. I don't really talk about the card. I'm just going to pick a card and just share. Good morning, good afternoon, Emily. Hi. I'm going to just share what the card means, right? So I'm not even looking. Obviously, I'm not looking. I'm connected and pick a card. I'm just going to say something about it, right? So this card here is the Wheel of Fortune. This card obviously would have probably popped up for someone that asked in a minute. But this card, the Wheel of Fortune, it speaks to continual motion, right? Continual motion. And let's say someone had asked for a card and this had come up. Well, I'd be tuned into them. And I would see, if you're seeing this now and you're listening to me now, I'll say a couple of things about this. The first is you cannot get in the way of change. You can try and interrupt it and you can try and slow it down, but change has its momentum of its own. And so if you try and stop change, it will create a buildup in oneself that will turn into what we know as self-sabotage, because self-sabotage is really us just trying to relieve ourselves of an internal discomfort. So we've got to remember that change happens, momentum will have its way. The other way of looking at this, there's two other ways of looking at this. One of the other ways of looking at this is we have to work to create momentum. Then momentum will have its own, right? Will have its own power. And so you think about, well, what is it like trying to get a train moving? A train requires a lot of energy to get itself moving, and then it's very hard to stop a train, isn't it? That's what it teaches us. Also, if I just show you this and turn it, right? We have different states of being here, right? and one message of this card is, wait a day, wait a week, and wherever we are and whatever state we're in, it will shift, right? And the message of the Wheel of Fortune is, this too shall pass, right? Okay, I do wanted to share that. It's good to talk about these things. Give me a second here. Okay, so I see some questions here over on Facebook. Oh gosh, hello everyone. Oh, wow, it's all everyone's turned up now. All right, Tanya. Tanya is the first question I see here. He said, all right, hi Joshua, my body hasn't been doing so well after some heavy chemical exposures in the past week or two. Gosh, I've been experiencing a lot of symptoms similar to a past brain injury. Please, could you tap into what's going on? Any advice or insight would be really appreciated. Yes, of course. And obviously, I have to say, a couple of things out of due diligence, that I am clearly not a doctor. This is not medical advice, and out of due diligence, consider all of this for entertainment purposes only, right? But anyway, Tanya, yes. Let's see what's going on. So chemical exposure and brain injury. Okay. Okay, so far so good, Tanya. Hasn't been doing so well the past week or two. He's experienced a lot of symptoms similar to a past injury. Okay, dive into what's going on. Okay. Tanya, I don't think this is actually because of the chemical exposure. I think this is a stimulus response you have. I see why you would be saying the chemical, because that's the most tangible recent thing you have to it. But I actually think this is more of a you thing. I would say don't be concerned. I don't want to, because I don't see concern, and I don't want to concern you either. I think this is kind of a you thing, part of your makeup thing. That's what I mean. But I do see it passing. I'm not seeing concern here. I don't debate that you are in discomfort. It looks like a lot. So let's just look at what will support you. Let's just look at that quickly. Okay. Okay. Tanya, I'm fairly happy with what I'm seeing here, and it's just the usual things that are going to help you. The usual things are going to help you. So let's just not see this as an exciting thing. In terms of rest, food, water, clean air, and a little bit of meditating. Okay, could I be any more boring like about this? It's not, we're not suggesting fantastical chakra meditations here. Just the same old boring stuff. You need to just and I mean this in the best way, kind of bring yourself together a bit more. You've got, and part of your energy body here, part here, just needs to come together more, right? So a little bit more rest. To the point, I'd even say get off here, get off screens, get off social media, right? I don't love doing readings on Facebook. I don't love this energy. I do it because people are here and I can support people, but it's a very fictitious energy. So given what's going on with given what's flaring in your nervous system right now, I'd actually say just get off screens. Okay. Right, let's go on. Emily, right. Could I look into the next year about relationships? No luck on dating apps, and I'm just trying to be more at peace with life as it is without focusing on dating. Okay, sure. Just Emily, I would agree with you here. I love what you are becoming. I love who you are becoming. Okay, and so for actually right now, I don't think you should be on the dating apps. I do feel someone is going to come. It's not the sort of thing you can rush, you can make happen, you can force, and all of that. Can I say to you that you are building a substantial life? You're becoming a substantial person, right? And as you build that, of course, your mirror appears. And so someone with substance and a substantial life meets you there. So for right now, I don't think you should be on dating apps. I really don't. Really don't. I'm getting around 7 months or so, 7 months. But really, if you can take the message from what I'm saying, that it's that deliberate action is not going to bring what you want right now. There are reasons for that. And you're doing the absolute right thing on focusing on yourself and your immediate sphere. Okay. Another way of saying that is we can look for fruit from a fruit tree, but if the fruit isn't ripe, it's not ready. We're not ready for it. It's not ready for us. I have questions here. So one sec. Hi, Joshua. What do you see coming on my path regarding my love life after summer? Okay. I get a good read on that for you. What I more see happening is you meeting someone. You're asking about love life after. Thank you, thank you. No, I thank you for saying that about my home. It's I do make an effort, and actually, there's probably the least amount of interesting things in this room as it goes. But anyway, I do get a good read on you for as you say, love life after the summer. I feel it's going to turn into something that you wanted to turn into towards the end of the year slash the start of the new year. I know, yes, I know. Now talking about 6 months away probably feels like a lot, but I think a lesson that we're all learning right now, with the immediacy that social media and the expectations and dating apps and so on flings at us, starting to see, just how long we live, right? How long we live, how much each day requires of us, and we're starting to see the importance of longevity with our relationships and what we need on a day to day. And so allow that time. I think I'm tapping into what you're tapping into. Actually, I do see someone after summer. But the first thing that will happen, if it's not a ridiculous thing to say, the first thing that will happen is you meet them. You meet them. You meet them where you are. You meet them where they are, and then, and then, and then. Okay. Okay. Emily, Lisa, Shakti, Sirius. Why is WT always probing and nosy about my private life, and what can I do to get her to leave me alone? Okay. So I don't know who okay. Always probing and nosy about private life. That's the first question. And what can you do to get her to leave you alone? Okay. Okay. Shakti, Sirius, you've asked two questions. I'm going to give you straight answers to those questions. Regarding this other person, sorry, excuse the airplane. Whatever, I'll just talk louder. Regarding this other person, this other person does not have enough to do with their time and they are jealous of you. That should be reasonably obvious. There is a little bit of karma in it, but I wouldn't lean into that. I don't think karma is an excuse. It's there, but it takes care of itself. More the point that that's her deal. That's her deal with a little simmer of karma in it. More importantly is you. Why does she? What can you do to stop it? You say. You got to remember that you are connected to this. It takes two to tango, and in every single connection, every single relationship, the traffic flows two ways. And so you have to disconnect from it. How do I disconnect from it, Joshua? You say, right. You don't disconnect, you elevate above it, right? So if we want to stop drawing someone to us, we've got to stop vibrating at the same level that is drawing that. And I have had, and I do sometimes have my own version of this, all right, that you're talking about. But so think about actually vibrating higher, right? And come on, let's not be the woo-woo spiritual new agey people that meditate and then keep doing the same thing. No. It's not necessarily about meditating. It's what we give our attention to throughout a 24-hour period. Okay. And then we start to look at what is perpetuating the state of being that we find ourselves in. Think small, don't necessarily think big. And so I know people, you probably know people that fill the houses with crystals and think that's what will do it. Crystals will amplify what you currently are, So think about that. I know I'm being direct and a little bit blunt with you, but I can feel that this is important to you. So think less about her and more about you and what will clean that this clean and therefore disconnect the bond, right? And I have a question here from Carol. Carol says you'd love a reading. Okay. Okay, Carol on here over on YouTube, assuming he's still here, that is. He may not still be here. Well, Okay, I'm gonna answer. Someone just asked me to do a reading for them without asking a particular question, and I don't know if she's still here, but I feel like someone else that's on needs to hear this question. Okay, and as I read, the sense I get is of someone who is actually very generous, right? But really, actually generous without conditions. It's just kind of default generosity, giving, right? Likes to give, enjoys what happens when you give. Yet this person I'm tuning into and feeling is not. It's not that they're hollow. They're just really needing. And I think whoever this is almost disconnected from the fact that they need quite a bit and the fact that they give quite a bit. And if you can understand there's a disconnection between those two experiences, like someone can just not realize how much that they need. Oh, Carol, you are here. Great, 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 great. So let me talk directly to you. I didn't know you were here. So Carol, as I look at this, I'm just wanting more for you, right? I'm wanting you to pay more attention and give more to your um, I want to say overall health, and that means physicality, of course. Yes, okay, and so think about supplements and that, but also just your sense of joy, right? Right, because I see you giving, I see you giving, wanting them to have that, wanting them to. I want to see you having that. I want to see you giving that to you. And if there's a block, if there's a wall, if there's an I don't know or I don't know what's fun, the kindest way I'm saying it's the kindest that I can say. That's not a reason. That's not an excuse. Okay. To you deserve from you what you would give to someone else. And if that doesn't land for you, you will be able to give so much more to other people if you have a fuller well to give from. Right? Lisa, if you're offering readings today, I would like to ask: should we sell part of the property or the entire property? Oh, thank you for a clear question. Okay. Gosh, quite a mixed reading we have here. I want to check something, and then I think I have a question for you, Lisa. Right. Okay, Lisa. My answer is the entire property. The entire property. Looking what I'm seeing, I have to ask you how ready you actually are to do that. Like if we put this in two different contexts, like the transactional sense, I have this and I'm going to sell it. That actually looks pretty good. Whatever your connection is to this or the property and everything, I feel that's kind of going to kind of hurt, and I don't feel you're ready. Okay, but I have to say, if you're looking at selling the entire property looks vastly better than a part of it, because you stay connected, don't you? And that's not always a good thing. That's not a good thing here. Okay, let's go on. Mary, can you draw some cards for what's coming up for me in the next couple of months? Yes. Mary, I'm looking at 2 pretty nice months for you, and I'm so happy to see this. And to some of you, you join me when I come and when I do these live streams and live readings and so on. And I always want the best for people. Why do you think I do this in the first place? And I want people to be happy. I want to see good things for people, and I don't always get to see that because life's life, isn't it? But Mary, I've got to say, I'm looking at 2 pretty nice months for you, and people showing up as you'd want them to. Yeah. Yep. And I'm looking at you as well. I'm looking at you, a more relaxed, connected, um, confident as well. Just seeing something, reading something the other day about boundaries, and it affirms something I really deeply believe, that if we're trying to affirm boundaries or assert boundaries retrospectively, it's harder. We want to design our life in a certain way that um, uh, um, we're not having to defend boundaries because people just know, or we don't end up in situations where we have to defend boundaries. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm just seeing a lot more lightness and levity, and you've just worked through a good deal here. Let me start again. You've worked through a good deal of the lessons that had been giving you challenge. If you look back 9-ish months or so, you're just past that. So if you can just maybe have this be a good sign, or whatever you want to call it, that life isn't and shouldn't just be challenge, and just looks like a good phase for you. Okay, let's go on. Hold on. Barb, you say, will you be moving? Barb Haven. Yes, I do get you moving, Barb. Let's see if we can. The move I'm seeing is looking more like it's next year. I feel it could happen this year, because moving is two things, isn't it? It's that part within us that says I am ready to go, and then of course it's actually going. So I feel you get to I'm ready to go this year, but I think the move is actually going to be next year. Becky, you have hip surgery coming up on July 20th. What does it look like in terms of surgery, success, and recovery? Thank you for a clear question. Thank you. Becky, I was thinking about you the other day. Other than surgery, I hope you're doing well. Really hope you're doing well. Okay, so all looks fine. You've asked a great question. I want to answer it on the levels that you've asked. Success and recovery. Okay, success. Yes. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing here. Recovery. Recovery is going to be a little patchy. It's going to be fine, but a little patchy. So you're going to have the my God, I've got the energy of a tiger, whatever. I've got a huge amount of. Then some days you're just gonna feel tired, and the despondency that comes with it. I'm just saying we got both going on. But I'm just trying to get a sense of timing here. After a period of months, anyway, I don't think you're going to even know that you've had the surgery. Okay, so successful surgery, I definitely see that. Recovery, just be patient with yourself. It's such a obvious thing to say, but be patient with yourself because you're going to have the great days and you're going to have the frustrating days as well. There. Okay, Becky, Maria, Joshua, can you please make a reading for July? Yes. Let's see. I haven't missed anyone. Okay, all right. Yes. Okay, Maria, a reading for July. Oh, can I just before I forget to say, while I still got some of you on here, um, I'm going to be relaunching my membership group in probably in August, right? And I'm saying this because those of you on right now, you would have got a notification to your cell phone that I was going live. And that's on the free level. Okay, that's on the free level. Because some of you asked me about, well, when are you going live? How would I know? When it comes to it, if you can join even at the free level, you'll get a notification that I'm going live like this. Okay, not a text, but a notification. All right, Maria, July. Yeah. All right. There's no couching this. July is looking like a challenging month, Maria. Okay. To the extent, and I'm looking at some of these cards here, that to see so many all together just tells me, you know what, something's got to move. And I forget that you have a lot happening at the moment, don't you? And there's been a few months since we've spoken, but I know you got a few going on. This all speaks to things just having to change, right? Things having to change. And at the start of this session today, I was talking actually about momentum and change, and we shouldn't fight it. We should try and get in the momentum and motion of it. And that's how it passes. And I'm looking at some of these cards, the Tower card, the Death card, and even the Empress card here. This tells me something is in the works for us. If I just flap this at all of you right now, and you see she's pregnant, right? And no pregnancy in the history of pregnancy has anyone ever been able to speed up. And the in with pregnancy, this incredible gift and blessing is coming. It's coming, right? It's coming. We don't know that at the time because having observed pregnancy 3 times, it looks tremendously uncomfortable. You kind of want it to be over. You don't like this part, but the blessing comes, and it's supported, and it's natural, and so on. And so, you asking about July, Maria, it looks like a turbulent and challenging month. Okay, I want to say prettier things than that, but I don't have it, which tells me something much greater is happening in the overall body of your life. And this looks like one of these just bottleneck crucible times that just have to move in. So you reach out for support, you allow us to support you, and your community and friends get you through, and you will, and you will, and you will. Okay. Okay, let's keep going here. Maria, Barbara, Lisa, how will my studies and training go the coming weeks? Right. Lisa. Yeah, Lisa, I'm seeing quite a bit of interruption around this. Again, I want to tell. I'd love to tell you different, but I'm seeing challenge around this. To the extent I want to ask you, do you even want to be doing these studies and trainings, or have you allowed yourself to even say that? I look at work I do and things I have to do sometimes, and some of it I just don't like doing, and I have to let myself say that and feel that to let it move so I can get on with it. And I feel you haven't done that. And I think you need to, okay? Because these we all know about buried feelings and they come to the surface and so on. And I'm seeing quite a bit of interruption here. Whether it's internal or external, there comes a point that it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Interruption is interruption. So I want to be telling you something a bit happier, but that's not what I'm seeing here around this. So I'm sorry for being blunt, but I would rather be direct and give you, you know, and communicate that clearly so that you can course correct yourself. Okay, Leslie, how long will I be off for medical leave? I'm getting 2 months here, Leslie, for medical leave for you. Okay, on we go. B Mark, do I see you moving? And Hallie, you are next. So B, do I see you moving? Yes, I do see you moving. And I could see you moving this year as well. So do with that what you will. Hallie, just before I get to your question, I'm going to just shuffle, and I want to see a question over here on YouTube because I'm live on both at the moment. Someone said, do I see positive changes coming on your career path and anything that I should know that can help me? Hallie said, are any angelic guides reaching out wanting to work with you? Hallie, the answer is yes. There's more to it than that. And again, I don't know how much of what I'm saying is obvious to you or not. So just let me just give it to you to see it. That reaching out to you is never going to be a new thing. There is always going to be reaching out to you. There's always going to be the want to give you support. There's always going to be the want to work through you, and they are distinct things. It's just that I'm being shown you. I'm not being shown them. And if there is a message for you, which I think could apply to all of us, it's how available are you? How receptive are you? How open are your hands to receive another hand or to be given something? And also to look at the fear, and it is a perception. It's not true, but it's a fear, right? It's a fear that there would not be, that they're being reached out to you, wanting you, right? And so if there's a message that I'd encourage you to reflect on, it's about creating more space and capacity in your life, and therefore more receptivity, and therefore more interaction and communication. Okay. And for you on, do I see positive changes? Yeah, the name is Twin Soul 752. Do I see positive changes coming in your career path, and anything you should know that can help you? Okay. Okay. Career path as it currently is right now, it's not looking for you how I would want to see it. I completely believe you can change this. And I think that's the message for you today. I don't think it's going how you want it to go right now, because you seem kind of disempowered with it. Like you couldn't choose it, like you don't have a choice. No. Saying that from a detached place, of course it's not true. Of course you do. But I think you feel that. And so the message is be completely decisive, empowered, choice-based about where your career is going and how it is put together as well. We're really moving out of a world where we say, this is my job, this is my career, into one where it's a woven tapestry of things that we do, we make, and we design. That is the word. We design our career, and that's what you're being ushered into, right? Which is going to be very positive for you. But the current trajectory you're on, please grab with both hands. Okay, let's keep going. Angie, unfortunately, my husband passed. I'm so sorry, Angie. Oh, and that's just a couple of weeks ago. What do you need to know going forward for your greater good? Gosh, my condolences to you, Angie. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay, couple of things. And Angie, what I'm being shown is kind of short, medium term, and then medium, long term here. Short, medium term is nothing is being asked of you, right? This isn't a big big life step things. You've just gone through something, going through something turbulent. The wake of it, and this isn't for. There's going to be a period of weeks to months where just the big things are not being asked of you out of greatest love and respect, so you can just be with yourself and rebuild. Okay, that's short medium term. Longer term actually looks great, in terms of coming into your power, but also the, I don't want to just say abundance. It's a very vague thing to say, because abundance is some key pillars in life, and I just do see security for you in internal and external as well, and the environment, the finances, the health. So medium long term, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. But just know that this is not a go to work, get things done, fix time for you. It's a time to be and observe, and that will pass. Okay, Simone, can you give me? Sorry, where did we go? Can you give me some guidance about my work, please, and be more specific? I am presently working for an American company, working as an independent contractor, was previously employed with them, and only have a 90-day contract that will expire in September. Hoping for a renewal and/or longer-term contract. Living in Portugal, I will be destitute. Oh, I'm sad to hear that. Okay. Let me just take that in again, okay? A 90-day contract. Okay. All right. So you're asking. So let's look at renewal, and let's look at longer term contract. Okay. So I don't see Simone, I don't see the contract being renewed. Again, forgive my bluntness there. I have a question mark over a longer term contract. But in your shoes, if I were in your shoes looking at this, I would be I feel I've already been kind of blunt here, because this is okay. I feel there's something that you and therefore we have not explored yet with this, other than renewal or long-term contract. I feel there is an option for you to be able to stay in Portugal that you haven't explored yet. Please look into that. Please look into that, because there's something. There is something you haven't explored yet. It's not quite the point to say look for support or return to this country if this is where you're from, Simone. So that's what I've got. But I'm not seeing a renewal of the contract, and I'm hesitant about a longer term contract as well. And I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sure it's I'm sure it's an unsettling thing. All right. Let me go on. Getting a little short on time here. Cody. You're asking for insight about moving in a couple of months. I have a lot coming at once, but I know my family would flourish with a yard. Is this possible, or am I trying to do too much? Moving in a couple of months. You can do it. I know there are the times where you think, why am I trying to do all these things at the same time? But it's which would be the exception rather than the rule. But sometimes it is that exception, and I think this is the case for you here, Cody. So I would say go for it. Go for it. If the doors are opening, you can do it. You can do it. Okay. Let's go on. Karen, you're asking, can you let me know if my surgery will go well tomorrow? Let's have a look. Right. Surgery, see going well. See you being a little uncomfortable afterwards. And do remember to ask for what you need and follow what you're told to do. Okay. Yeah. So you're being a little uncomfortable afterwards. The surgery to me looks good. And I like who's. Do we say performing the surgery? Do we say that? Giving the surgery, the surgeon. I like the look of that person as well. I'm happy about how the surgery goes. Yeah. Okay. Gosh, more people on than usually are. Right. We're going to need to. We have someone here on YouTube. No, you're not on YouTube anymore. Okay, gotten out that one. Okay. So Sandra, she's asking, will I find love? I have more questions to ask you, Sandra, but the short answer, first of all, is yes, absolutely. Okay, so yes, absolutely. It's all, Sandra, it's all about you. It's all about you. I see opportunity. I see people. I see that, right? It's about you and letting in, allowing in. And I'm not saying hurry up. I'm not saying that. I'm really not saying that. You can't hurry these things up. But start to have conversations with yourself. If this happened, then, or if I met someone tomorrow, which is almost possible here, right? I met someone tomorrow, and then what are the things that have happened to you that you have a very quiet dialogue that says, I will not allow this to happen again in the future, right? Because that's the sort of wall we've got here. There are opportunities and there are people. There's love that wants to come to you. The question is, how close are you going to let it to you? And I hope you hear that and will have those conversations with yourself. All right. Tracy, what do I see for you in the next 3 months? That is a very, very open. That's a very, very open and wide question. Okay, I'm gonna let me just see what I get, because that's not the sort of question for this this environment where all I can do is speak to you and I can't have you speak to me. Okay. However, we're looking at between now and now in October. Wow, 3 months. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. In addition to, because this just isn't the main thing as I'm seeing here, Tracy, in addition to, I want to say relationship harmony, and if you're not in a relationship, I feel that's coming or going to blossom into. It's just not the main thing here. The main thing I'm seeing for you is it's all about choices to make. Why? What's that around? Well, you may be taking on too many things. Yes, and I should do, and I must, and what happens if I don't? That sort of choices, to the point where you begin to say no. You begin to say, no, I'm going to do this way, or I'm not going to do these things. I'm not going to do that thing. How about this instead, right? It's all about choices for you. The particular suit of the cards that I'm seeing here, a lot of is swords, the mind and choices. Pick up, put down. So I actually like this for you. I'm one of these people that I really believe that our future is decided by the choices we make today and tomorrow and later on and next week and so on. That they're not to be vague and mindless about. And the more charge we take over each choice, the more we decide our life. Okay. So with that is going to come more people, and with that, some people are going to leave as well. I'll just say again, relationship harmony, in and with all of that, I see for you too. All right, I am at the hour, everyone. I have to get into an appointment now. So if you all would you all just take a breath with me, please? Take a nice breath with me. I like to just complete in this way. Take a breath with me. I hope I've answered as many questions as I could answer. Quite a few on today. Like, just take a breath. We take a breath, and we take a breath. And we breathe for those who are short of breath right now. We breathe for people who cannot see past challenge and problem now. We say a prayer for this world. We say a prayer for this country. We say a blessing and prayer for each one of you. May all that you need and want come to you. May you have these things. With gratitude and love, we say thank you. Okay. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Wonderful day, rest of the week. Please keep in mind, if you will, those of you that are still on, and I'll say this a bunch of times this month, that I am going to be relaunching my membership group. those of you who want to be on these sessions, which will remain free, of course, you'll get notifications if you're in my group, and plenty of other things as well. So be well, have a great week. Happy July 4th if I'm not going to see some of you or speak to you before then, and see you soon.